Oh, and we're live. I think we're live. Hi guys, welcome to episode 50 something, 56 maybe, 56 of Security Dog Handler Live. Obviously just come here, hang out for a little bit. So if you are coming into live, just the chat box is there. You can ask questions, give me subjects to kind of talk about, etc. Yeah, so I've got a couple of things that I can talk about this week. I hope you're all well. Hope you had a good end to last week. When did I do the live last week? I think I've done the live Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday I done the live last week. Yeah, because I had Thursday off because of my birthday. So I done live last Wednesday. I got a feeling that got cut short, didn't it? Because I started getting spammed a little bit, which is what happens when you're a global superstar on YouTube. Obviously, people start spamming your chat boxes, etc. So hopefully that won't happen this week, because that was getting a bit annoying. People wanting shout outs, etc. That was getting a bit annoying. But as a global superstar on YouTube, the chat box will get spammed occasionally. Unlikely, but yeah. So yeah. Hope you're all good. If you're coming in, just say hello. Let me know you're in, or give me a question or a subject, etc. I am a little ill again. Second time in probably 3 weeks I've been feeling a bit ill. So I'm feeling a bit ill last couple of days, etc. So I could do with some subjects to carry on, but there were a couple of things I was going to talk about. I went and saw a new trainer on Sunday. Went to see a new trainer on Sunday to get my team certificate, because obviously now Terry's retired. I have to need to see someone else to get a team certificate. So I went and done that on Sunday. It's just been a pretty standard working week. Nothing too highbrow. Nothing really been going on, etc. And yeah, then just the last couple of days been feeling a bit ill. I don't know whether I keep catching something. I know that there was a nasty bug thing going around a couple of weeks ago that my mate got at the same time. So I don't know whether I picked it up from football on a Saturday. But also it's sort of coinciding with me feeling a little bit it's also me feeling a little bit run down. Because I went to a new trainer on Sunday, it kind of messed up my sleeping pattern, and it's kind of ended up messing me up, and now I'm feeling a little bit exhausted, which is causing me feeling a bit run down. Mike Stokes, how much do you pay for your public liability insurance? So it's different for me than it is for other people. So in terms of public liability insurance, because I'm PAYE, I don't have to have it in order to work. So when I come to work, the company's PAYE, the company's public liability will cover me whilst I'm working. Now, it's my choice to whether I get public liability for insurance whilst I'm outside work. I trust my dog, I trust myself, so I haven't actually got public liability insurance for outside work. Like I said, I don't need it when I'm inside work, because Prestige Guardian's public liability will cover me whilst I'm working. But typically most people say that it's somewhere between, I've heard somewhere between sort of £200 and £600, depending on how much cover you want to get, depending on who you go for. But I think somewhere between maybe 300 and 500 is quite a typical cost for public liability insurance. Like I say, I don't have it myself because I don't need it for work. I trust myself and my dog outside work. I don't really do anything risky that I'm gonna need public liability insurance for. My dog is reasonably friendly when I'm outside work, etc. So if you have a dog and you don't have public liability insurance, it is always a risk. I understand that, but but I don't require it for work. But yeah, somewhere between 300 and 500 I think is quite a typical amount for public liability insurance. Is it Cliverton's? I think is quite a popular one that people go to. I can't remember who the other ones were, but yeah. So yeah, about £300 to £500 I would say. Chip King, who did you go to? I went to Dicey Bowden. So we'll move on to Sunday. So I went to Dicey Bowden on Sunday, who is a NASDU instructor. She's done decoy courses. I never really knew too much about her. She was recommended to me by Terry, someone that Terry has trained alongside. That Terry's known for a long time. She used to assess Ash and Terry to get their annual NASDU team certificate, etc. So yeah, I went to Dicey Bowden. Really nice lady. Went there, spoke to her for a little bit. We got on reasonably well. In terms of obviously being strangers, we got on really well. We done my NASDU team certificate, so we've done things like my obedience. Obviously, she had no idea about Coop when I turned up. She never knew what standard he was at or anything like that. So we kind of run through sort of everything. So it was kind of obedience, recall, emergency stop. She run me through sort of laws, etc. And as much as I make videos on laws, I can say what they're about. Dates, I'm not that great at remembering dates, so quite a few times I was like a year out. So instead of 91 I was 92, instead of 2006 I was saying 2008, but I kind of knew what it was, and I didn't get them all wrong. I got most of them right. I got a couple wrong, but I was like a year out, etc. And then we done some protection work, etc. Where is she? She is in Billericay in Essex. Yeah, she's got a little setup in Billericay, etc. Like I say, she was really nice. We had a good chat. She kind of has the same ideas as sort of Terry, and similar ideas to me, and what you need from a protection dog, etc. What is too much, what is not enough. So yeah, I was there. I think I got there for about 10:30, 11:15, and she was doing some puppy classes or some pet classes. One was a puppy, one was like probably 12 to 14 week German Shepherd she had there. It was just a pet. She was doing some puppy stroke pet classes when I first turned up, so I just watched her doing some of that stuff. And then it was only me that was there. So I think that she opens up training on certain days, and then you can just let her know what day you're going to turn up, etc. From memory, I think it's Tuesdays, Thursdays and Sundays. Tuesdays and Thursdays don't really work for me because I'm finishing a shift and I've got a shift later on. Sunday, I've got a shift later on, but obviously because I'm not working on a Saturday night, it's much easier. So I went on a Sunday. I got there about 10:30, 11. I think I got home roughly about 2:30. It's about a 45-minute drive for me. Obviously, as I was the only one there, we could kind of run through things. I wasn't waiting for other dogs to do protection. I wasn't waiting for other dogs to do emergency stop, etc. But I think she was reasonably impressed with Coop. She said that he was. She said that he breezed the team certificate, etc. So I think that's reasonably. I think it's something that I've needed backing up, because obviously you guys have known since I started doing this, I've always gone to Terry and people said you need to go and see someone else, or you need to see other trainers, etc. And going to Dicey, who had no idea who I am, she had no idea that I'd done the YouTube channel, she had no idea about Coop, etc. For Coop to go there and breeze the NASDU team certificate is backing up what I've always said about Coop in terms of the way in which he works if you see him in real life compared to maybe what you see on videos, etc. What was that? So yeah, that was reasonably good. And like I say, just to get confirmation from another trainer that Cooper is what I say that he is, and the standard that I say that Cooper is. To get that backed up by a different trainer other than Terry was decent, etc. I don't know if Dicey is going to be open to sort of the filming that obviously Terry used to let me do, etc. I didn't obviously go in there. I didn't want to start putting on a camera and recording sort of stuff because I'm obviously there for a purpose. It's my first sort of session, etc. And I've always said this about me doing my YouTube, etc., is that I don't want people to think that I'm just doing this for YouTube. This is my job. This is what I enjoy doing. I'm not doing this so that I can do YouTube, etc. So I wasn't going to turn up with a camera and start filming and making a thing of it, because I wanted her to obviously know that I take it seriously. I wanted her to know that I'm committed to doing this. This is not just a gimmick for me to do YouTube, etc. Chip King, good for you and your dog to experience different trainers and different techniques and other the other trainers have. Yeah, like I say, she's never seen Coop before. She's not seen any of these videos, etc. So it was quite good when we was doing the protection side, because I never build myself up. I never build Cooper up in terms of overplaying our capabilities, our ability, etc. I'm always someone that will underplay our abilities and then let them make their own decisions. And when she was talking about protection work, I said, look, I personally think that he's a decent standard. It all depends on the situation, etc. And then, like I say, we done some protection work, etc. And she said, no, he's really good. There are little bits that we need to work on. I think with most security dogs, there's always things that you can improve on. So there are things that we are going to work on. Like I say, she's done decoy courses, etc. One of the standout things that was different. So when I've done protection work with Terry, if Terry's got something in his hand, etc., as the dog goes on, if they spin and you stand still, if Terry gets close enough to you, he will hit you with whatever he's got in his hand. So that would be, obviously, if someone's got, I don't know, an iron pipe and you're doing and they break into your sight with an iron pipe, your dog goes on for protection, they kind of spin and you don't move, he would hit you with that iron pipe. So in terms of trying to make it as real life as possible, if in protection work with Terry, if the dog goes on and he's on the sleeve, they sort of turn. If you don't turn, Terry will hit you with whatever you've got. So it is natural for me that when Coop goes onto a sleeve, if they start turning, that I start turning as well. But Dicey said, look, we're doing training here. That's obviously good for sort of the outside world, but we're doing training here. So I want you to stand as still as possible, encourage the dog, and let me work the dog in terms of working with the sleeve, etc. So there was a little bit of a difference in that, and she said that from you doing this certain stuff is not confusing the dog, but that's why there's maybe a regrip or whatever it is. So there's different techniques and there's different ways in which she's going to work compared to Terry, etc. So it is going to take a little bit of adjusting from me. That, look, Terry done, not that Dicey doesn't do real life, etc., but Terry done sort of real life where Terry would hit you with something if he could, because in the real world, if you don't move and someone gets close enough, they will probably hit you with something. Where Dicey, through her decoy courses, etc., wants to work on her working with the dog and you standing still and letting her do what she needs to do with the dog, etc. And she's not going to thump me around the head with something if I stand still. So there's a little bit of a difference in that sort of stuff. I would recommend you have your own public liability insurance in case anything happens when you're not working. It just covers you so much, and also cover you when you're on training ground. Yeah, I mean, if I'm right in thinking that the trainer should have public liability insurance for running the courses, I'm pretty sure, as far as I'm aware, that
the trainer should have public liability insurance in order to have people down to do training, etc. Yeah, I completely understand what people say about having your own public liability insurance. Bruno has now officially turned 16 years old, and he thinks he's still working. Yeah, good. He's a good dog. That dog. Obviously, I've not seen him for a while, but yeah, you've done exceptionally well to get 16 years out of him, etc. But yeah, like I say, just going back to Dyson. That I really enjoyed the session, and she was talking about next time, but it's funny because like she doesn't want to presume that I do it as well. I think it's just the way in which trainers and dog handlers talk, is that we always talk in presuming that it's going to happen again. And she was talking about coming down next time, etc. And she said, "Oh, you might not want to." But like I say, I'm going to be going down again next month. I'm going to be doing my CT with Dicey, etc. And look, even if you go to a trainer, I'm not saying that this is the case here, but I think if you go to a trainer, I think that you should give them at least maybe 2 or 3 sessions, unless something seriously happens in the first one. I think that you should always give a trainer maybe 2 or 3 sessions before you build an opinion on whether they're the trainer for you, etc. So I think, because like everyone, like handlers, trainers can have bad days, trainers can have their minds taken off of things because something else is going on, etc. So I think that even if you go to a trainer and in the first session you're like, I don't really know if that was for me, I think that you should still give trainers maybe 2 or 3 sessions before you make your mind up and say, look, they're definitely not for me, or I think that me and this trainer can work really well. So yeah, even if I went to Dicey and we passed our team certificate, or even if we didn't pass our team certificate, even if I would still give Dicey maybe a couple more sessions and say, let's see how it goes, and then I'll make an assumption on that. I think unless something serious happens in your first session with a new trainer, I think that you should give them the benefit of the doubt. Like I say, there's been many times where me and Coop have gone to training and maybe I'm not into it, or maybe Coop's not quite into it, and we have bad days, dogs have bad days, so sometimes the trainers can have a bad day too. And like I say, it depends who's there as well. If you go there and the trainer's preoccupied with having to sort something with someone else out, maybe you've not got the attention they wanted to give you. So I think even if you go somewhere, give a trainer the benefit of the doubt of maybe 2 or 3 sessions before you make your opinion on whether maybe they're the trainer for you. Oh, I feel so ill. This is I was a bit worse than this the other week when I took a week off, when I tried to film a video, and I just physically couldn't. I was so ill, and I feel a little bit like that now. But again, I think that just comes down to a bit of exhaustion. Sunday, I was up at like 9 o'clock going to training. I had got about an hour's nap before I come to work. Then I'm banging to my working week. And then I've had like the window cleaner come around one day, so that sleep was absolutely horrendous, as you could probably imagine. Amazon deliveries coming out my ears. That's been a common thing this week of Amazon. And then we've been trying to sort stuff out about the wedding as well, so I've been stressing a little bit about that as well. So I feel like it's just a bit of exhaustion. I've tried to keep, so the last few nights as well, is that it's been reasonably cold. The temperature has proper dropped during the evenings and that, or during the nights, and in order to keep the temperature up in the van, etc., I've had to not close it off, but I've had to make sure the window's not as cracked or the back door is not wide open, etc., just to try and keep the temperature up in the van, etc. And I've got a feeling that sort of the dry, warm air has given me a bit of a dodgy throat as well. So I've tried to keep everything a little bit more open, trying to get a bit more fresh air in here, so that maybe that's what's giving me a bit of a dodgy throat as well. But yeah, has anyone got any questions? Has anyone got any subjects they want me to talk about? Like I say, wanted to talk about obviously Sunday and that, and just say, look, we've managed to get our team certificate. Obviously getting backed up by another trainer of them saying what I kind of say and not what a lot of people say when they watch the videos, etc. Chip King and maybe a few others may know that if you see Cooper in the flesh, it's a little bit different to possibly what you see on videos, etc. So yeah, that was kind of more or less what I wanted to talk about. I was just going to open it up to anyone that's got any questions or any subjects that they want me to talk about, etc. Let me get another water. I've got a slab of water behind me. Oh, Jesus. I need to clean the front of this out. I've done a bit of a deep clean of the cages. So again, on Sunday when I went there, we was doing training in the field, etc. And it was reasonably wet. So one of the other sessions that I could have gone to, that ended up getting cancelled, although I'd already booked in with Dicey before that, but they ended up cancelled through like waterlogged field, etc. And then went to Dicey, and yeah, it was wet, and Coop got absolutely smothered. When I got back from training on Sunday, I had to go in, get a bucket of warm soapy water and come back out and give Coop a proper clean off. And then I've done a bit of a deep clean of the crate, because obviously he got mud all up in the crate and all on the non-slip floor, etc. So I gave this bit of a deep clean earlier in the week, but I didn't do the front bit because my fridge and my extension lead was on the mat and I couldn't be asked to do it. So I need to do a bit of a deep clean in the front, etc. I like to do a deep clean of the van maybe once a month, and then keep up at least once a week. I'll normally give everything a bit of a wipe over. Hi bud, are you still enjoying the job now you've done it for a few years? What would you do differently? Yeah, the hesitation there is not because I don't enjoy it. I do enjoy the job. I do enjoy the job, but I think over the last few weeks, because of like the added things that I've got going on, like I say, it's not a massive thing, and if the fiance listens to this, I'm not taking too much to say that I'm planning the wedding, etc. But just the wedding stuff, the extra pressure of obviously deadlines coming up that I need to earn money to pay for, different things like that. Like I've got the van crash claim from last September. I've been getting messages about that, because obviously we're putting in our claim now for obviously my whiplash and my loss of earnings and different things like that. I definitely think since the start of the year, the constant week in, week out of the hours that I do, I've started to not find tough, but near the end of the week I do seem to find myself being a lot more tired and a lot more knackered out. But that's pure the fact of the amount of stuff I've got going alongside work, etc. But again, with Terry as well, is that I haven't been training as much as I used to last year. We are obviously in the depths of winter now. This job is obviously so much better in the summer, where you turn up to work and you've got 3-4 hours of sunlight and you can do different stuff. I mean, I still do stuff here, but you're doing it in the pitch black. It's like 3 degrees. You never see sunlight. So this time of year is always a lot tougher. I haven't been training as much as I was last year. Hopefully that's obviously now going to change, where I'm with Dicey and I can go up whenever I want to. So I'm not training as much as I used to. We're in the part of the year where you're in the depths never seeing sunlight. The site that I'm on is okay. It's not got lots of room. There's not much going on. It's not the greatest site in the world. It's probably one of the safest sites I've been on, in terms of there's no reason for anyone to come in here. It's fully fenced off. There's no reason for anyone to come in. So it's one of the safest sites I've been on as well. But yeah, I still enjoy the job. Like whenever a Sunday comes around and it's time to go to work, I don't begrudge going to do it. Maybe when it gets to like Thursday morning or maybe Wednesday morning, I'm like, okay, just one more shift, etc. But by the time I've gone to sleep and I've got back up, like, I don't begrudge coming to work. I don't begrudge getting the dog and going to work, because we still have fun when we're here. We still play with the ball. We still do some tug work. I'll get the bike pillows out, the bike bar out. I'll still play ball with him. We'll do a bit of emergency stop and all that sort of stuff. So I still really enjoy that. But yeah, I've just sort of found maybe the last few months that when it comes around to Friday, I haven't quite got the energy that I had last year to get the dogs and go to my mum and dad's and run around the field with them for a few hours. I still do it, but I don't quite have the energy to do it. So yeah, look, I still enjoy the job. I still love coming to work, etc. I don't like. I feel ill now, and I felt ill a couple of weeks ago. That never put me off coming to work. I still turned up to work, still wanted to go, etc. Not at any point did I just call in sick because it was easier than going to work. I still enjoyed coming to work, even though I felt a bit ill, etc. What would I do differently? There's not really too much there's obviously not too much I would do differently. I think if I was starting again, I would start with a bigger van. So I had a Volkswagen Caddy before this Vivaro. If I was starting off now, and it's something that I say to people now that I've experienced it and now I've got the experience of it, if I was going to do anything differently now, it's when I first started, I would get Vauxhall Vivaro or bigger, depending on what you can park at your place, etc. Like I still need to be able to fit my car park. I still need to be able to fit my van in a car parking space. It's really my only vehicle, because the missus has the other vehicle for work. So it's really my only other vehicle. So if I need to go to Asda, if I need to go to a shop, if I need to go X, Y, Z, I still need to be able to take the van, park it in spots, etc. When I go to football on a Saturday, normally I'll take the van. So I need to be able to park the van in a normal parking spot, which is why I've got a Vivaro. I couldn't have like a Sprinter or like a long wheel-based van, because it would just make my life more complicated. But what I do say to people now that I've experienced it, is that the bigger the van you get for work, the more comfortable you will be at work. And obviously whatever your parking ability is at home or what you need it for, depends on what size you could get. I heard people say, look, I've heard other dog handlers say, look, the bigger the van you can get, buy it for that. So if let's for argument's sake say you've got a 10 grand budget and you can spend, I don't know, 7 grand on a Volkswagen Caddy, spend the 10 grand on the Sprinter, because when it comes to being at work, you'll be much more comfortable. So that's kind of the one thing I would do differently. That would have made the last few years more comfortable rather than sort of the last 4 or 5 months. Yeah, I don't think there's too much I would do differently. I still wouldn't have gone self-employed straight away. I've still enjoyed being a PAYE handler, getting myself into the industry, understanding what the industry is about, making contacts with the industry. I think that's important as well, is making contacts with the industry before you think about going self-employed, etc. I'm not saying that I'm thinking about it now, but I don't think I would have gone self-employed straight away. I enjoy working for Prestige. I enjoy that side of it. but yeah, I don't regret anything that I've done with security dog handling. I think not that I was restricted, but obviously when I first started, I already had Cooper 18 months, so there's nothing I would change about obviously the dog that I've got. Now I'm sort of 2-3 years in. Would I have looked down sort of working lines if I knew I was buying a German Shepherd for this job? Would I look down working lines now? Yes, I would. I wouldn't look down obviously the route I was looking down when I was going to be buying him as a pet. So that's nothing that I can really change, because I already had the dog, and the reason that I am doing this job is because of the dog. But if I was to look now, I'll look more into sort of the working line makeup of the dog rather than just picking up any dog. So yeah, obviously bigger van, and obviously I would look down working line if that opportunity was available to me at the time. But they're kind of the two things I'd do different. I don't regret anything that I've done. I don't regret being a PAYE handler. I don't regret that one day. So I think that's pretty much it, to be honest. I've not done anything stupid. I've not done anything reckless. I don't think them opportunities have really been available to me to do anything stupid or reckless, but I've never put myself in the position to do anything stupid or reckless as well. Like most of the time when people have walked on site has been on the site that had no boundary fencing, and every time that someone walked on there, the dog never come out the van. The dog was always a sort of a backup. So I've although them opportunities to be stupid and reckless have been available, I've never really put myself in that position where I've made a silly decision, etc. So I can't have any regrets on anything that I've done. I've not had a live bite, something that I think a dog handler should be proud of if you don't have any live bites. So I've had no live bites, so I can't regret on anything like that. I've not got my head kicked in, so I can't regret on not using the dog when I've got my head kicked in, because that's not happened. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And I think you just learn as you go. I think you just learn as you go through. Like I'm 100 times better handler now than obviously when I first started in that, and that's not through going through different experiences. That's just going through shifts on your own, talking to lots more handlers. And I think that's one of the good things about what I've done with the YouTube and the Discord and different things like that. When I first come into security dog handling, I knew absolutely no one. So I knew no dog handlers, I knew no trainers, I knew nothing. And now, just more through my YouTube than anything else, I know handlers around the UK. I know a few trainers. I don't know loads of trainers, but I know a few trainers. I've spoken to a couple on the phone. I've obviously been to Terry, and I've now been to Dicey, etc. So I've built my own little community, etc. And I think that just by being surrounded by them has also helped me become a better handler, etc. And I don't regret doing any of that. That's probably one of the things that I'm most proud of as a security dog handler. As silly as it sounds, one of the most things I'm most proud of is that creating a sort of environment where I can meet new handlers and we can have discussions. And look, not every dog handler that I speak to has got the exact same mindset or the exact same opinion on stuff, but we still get on. We can still chat about stuff. So I think that's been important. That's been important for me to create a community where I can talk to people and people can get involved and talk to me, and I can help people out, etc. Because this job would be very different for me if I wasn't doing YouTube, and if I didn't create my own community where I can meet people and speak to people on a regular basis. This job would be very different for me, and I think that would be one of the things that I would have regretted, is getting into an industry where I don't surround myself with people that I can talk to, etc. So I don't have many regrets, to be honest with you. I'm always someone that looks forwards, I don't really regret too much, as long as you're at a place that is safe and you've not done anything silly. I don't think you should ever look back and regret something, because if I'd done something differently, maybe I would be in a different place now. So like if I decided to be a self-employed dog handler, maybe I would be at a completely different place than I am being a PAYE handler. And there's nothing to say that would be a good or a bad thing. Maybe if I was a self-employed dog handler, I would be in a better place. But I don't regret being a PAYE handler, because where I am, I'm very happy and I'm very relaxed, and I kind of know what's going on. I've got no real stresses, etc. So I don't think that you should ever look back and sort of regret if there's nothing bad that's happened. So yeah, I think waffled on way too much there. If anyone's turned off, or if you're still watching, then you deserve a pat on the back, because I waffled on quite a lot there. But yeah, that's my kind of thoughts on it. Oh, fucking hell. What are we at? 36 minutes. My throat is so sore. Oh, man. Still watching, but I hope you feel better soon. Well, day off, 2 nights off coming up, and football. I always feel like playing, although playing football when you're ill is not great, but I always feel like trying to sweat something out. Playing a bit of football always does you a bit of good. To be fair, on last Saturday we played in the rain a little bit as well, so that might be why I'm feeling a bit shite. Yeah, what are we at? 37 minutes. Give you a few, if anyone's got anything they want to talk about. I feel like that's been a decent conversation. I'm open to answering any more questions or giving my opinions on any other subjects, but if not, I'll give you another sort of 30 seconds or so to get any questions in. If not, then we'll leave it there, rather than me dragging this out and starting to feel worse and worse. But yeah, if you've got any questions, I'll give you another sort of 25 seconds. Last question: do you have trouble sleeping during the day? Yes and no. So it depends on what's sort of going on. So typically this week, so on Sunday the missus has the dogs in the morning, because I have an extended sleep. I normally sleep until about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so that I can get up, and then I'll last until 7 a.m. the next morning. So it's sort of like an 18-hour day. So the missus has the dogs on a Sunday morning, and that's normally okay, because obviously she's there and keeping them occupied, or she'll take them for a walk, or she'll do whatever. So Sunday's normally good, and then you get into sort of Monday to Friday. Well, yeah, Monday to Friday really. And Ollie likes to start coop off, so typically I would get woken up probably 2 or 3 times a day, where the dog's barking at people walking past, dogs walking past with dogs. Now, Ollie and Coop, neither of them bark at other dogs when we're out. If I take either of them for a walk, they don't bark at dogs. So the other day, we got a poodle who lives close to us. The poodle walked past our flat. Ollie was barking at the poodle. Ollie was barking at the poodle. And took the dog out, took Ollie out for a walk. Ollie and the poodle both met up in the street. They had a little bit of a play. They both walked on. On the way back home from the walk, Ollie's walking past the poodle's house. The poodle is barking at Ollie. So the dogs will bark at each other, but then when they're outside, when they're both outside, like, the dogs just get on, like, they're just friendly. But they bark at each other through the window. So typically I'll probably get woken up maybe 2 or 3 times a day with Coop barking at someone. On Wednesday, I had the window cleaner around, so as you can imagine, I've got the window cleaner. The dogs think that the bloke's obviously attacking the windows. So for 20 minutes, 25 minutes, they are going Garrity. I'm obviously not sleeping, so I have to kind of just get up for them 20 minutes. If I'm up and about, I can stop the dogs from barking. If I just carry on sleeping or trying to sleep, the dogs will continue to warn off the geezer that's banging on the windows around the flat, etc. So it all depends. My dogs are as good as gold during the evenings. Like, they don't bark during the night, but obviously during the day, when there's people walking around, there's stuff going on, there's workers, if the gardeners are working on the grass outside, if the window cleaner's round and all that, then yeah, that can really disrupt it. I typically get somewhere between, I normally sleep typically between sort of 7:30 and 2:30. Some days I get woken up at 12:30, or some days I wake up at 12:30, some days I wake up at 1:30, some days I wake up when the alarm goes off at 2:30. So I'm always getting somewhere typically between 5 and 6 hours, 7 hours. Somewhere between 5 and 7 hours typically. Yeah, so I don't get loads of sleep. It can be disrupted. Maybe I'll get woken up 2 or 3 times a day. But that's one of the things with Coop. Like, Ollie is worse than Coop, although Coop always finishes it. So Ollie's always the first one to bark at someone as they walk past. Cooper then backs up his brother, because from what I understand, or from what I see, is that Ollie gives out a "I'm scared" kind of little bark, and then Coop comes and sorts out the situation, because that's what Coop does. That's what he's been trained to do. If I turn around and say to Coop, "I'm not sure about this," Coop is the one that goes forward. So Ollie's the worst one for it. I actually think that Ollie enjoys doing it, because him and Cooper kind of bond over it. Because there'll be times where Ollie will just be sitting on the sofa, be bored, he'll be kind of looking around, and then he'll just bark for no reason whatsoever. Cooper come charging in, go up to the window, start barking. He'll stop because he realised nothing's there, and then as he comes away from the window, Ollie comes down, and then they start play fighting, or Ollie grabs a rope and they start playing, etc. So Ollie's the worst culprit for it, because he knows how to get Coop going. But yeah, like I say, it can be disrupted. Depends on what's going on. The window cleaners, as soon as I get the text from the window cleaner saying I'll be round tomorrow, I always think to myself, this is going to be a nightmare, because I've got a geezer banging on the windows and attacking the dogs attacking the flat, and they need to warn him off. So that's always chaos. But yeah, like I say, typically between 5 and 7 hours, can be disrupted. Woken up a fair few times. Again this week. So not only have I had the window cleaner, not only do the dogs bark every now and then at someone walking past, Amazon parcels are the bane of my life, and and also other deliveries that come your way. But Amazon parcels, if you like, there'll be a stage where we'll be getting 4 or 5 deliveries a week, and like every day at like 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 2 o'clock, like Amazon deliveries. And obviously they push the bell, the dogs go Garrity because the doorbell's been pushed, etc. So yeah, it can be a number of things that breaks up your sleep, etc. More annoying is that for the last 2 days I've been getting Amazon parcels that aren't even for me. And normally when they ring, I answer the phone. I'd say, look, I'll let you in, just leave it by my door, and then I'll just go back to bed, and then I'll pick up my Amazon parcels when I get up. But the last 2 days I've been getting Amazon parcels for number 1 for where I live, rather than flat 1. So I've been getting someone else's parcels and waking me up. So that's been a bit annoying. But yeah, Amazon parcels, the dogs barking at people every now and then obviously other stuff. And obviously if you're feeling ill or whatever, that can affect your sleep as well. But like I say, between 5 and 7 hours is typically what I try to get. If I can get 7 hours, then I normally feel a lot fresher. And yeah, I always say that if you wake up early, you're just borrowing happiness from later on. But yeah, thanks for the chat, mate. Keep safe. I hope you keep safe too. Hope you're all well. That is basically 45 minutes on the nose. I'm going to leave it there. My throat is killing me from doing that. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Subscribe down below for loads more videos. I think my Patreon's down in the description of this video. If you want to help support what I do for as little as £3 a month, which is not even £1 a week, you can really help support what I do and help me to continue doing this. But other than that, there will be a video on Saturday. It's actually a Patreon video that is a year old, so it's my love video, which is what I brought out on Patreon for Valentine's Day last year. So this Saturday's video is going to be about love. Obviously Valentine's was 2 days ago now, yesterday, 2 days ago, can't remember. But yeah, I'll say there's going to be a video about love on Saturday, so I hope you enjoy that video. But other than that, hope you're all well, hope you keep well, have a good weekend. I'll go live again around this time next week. But yeah, other than that, keep safe. Like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below for loads more videos. And as for now, I'll see you again next week. Just watching, see you later, bye.